You are not a mistake. You were not placed here by chance. Nor are you drifting aimlessly through time, the product of random circumstances. There is something ancient and divine in you. A spark buried beneath doubt, fear, and forgotten dreams. Fire that was never meant to go out. Look around you. The world may be loud with distraction, chaotic with comparison, but within you, stillness waits, potential waits, destiny waits. Destiny waits that there comes a moment in every life when a man must decide who he will become, not by birth, not by inheritance, not by what the world says he deserves, but by choice. This is that moment. No great soul ever stumbled into greatness by accident. Lincoln was not chosen by comfort. Edison did not invent by luck. Carnegie did not rise from steel and poverty by magic. They knew something you must know now. You are the author of your existence. And the pen has always been in your hand. The question is, when will you start writing like it? The truth is, most people never wake up. They live decades without ever truly deciding who they are. They conform, they react. They wait for a signal from the world, as if the world knows their purpose better than their own soul does. But your life changes the moment you stop waiting and start commanding. Listen to me, there is no savior coming. There is no map hidden under your pillow. The only way out is through the valley of discomfort, through the battlefield of belief, through the fire of discipline. And that fire, it starts within. If you've been doubting your worth, let me remind you of something sacred. You were born with a mind capable of imagining entire worlds, a will forged to endure storms, and a spirit too wild to cage. But life has a way of burying those gifts beneath fear, beneath failure, beneath the whispers of a society that tells you to stay small. Burn that script. You are not here to live mildly. You are here to become a force of nature. Let us talk about mindset. Your mind is the throne of your destiny. Whatever commands it receives, it obeys. Feed it fear, and it will paralyze you. Feed it doubt, and it will shrink you. But feed it belief, and it will raise empires. Do you understand what belief is? It is not wishful thinking. It is not empty hope. Belief is the internal declaration of certainty. It is the unshakable decision that I will, long before the world agrees. Walt Disney believed when everyone called him crazy. Henry Ford believed when people said horses were the future. They were not blessed with clearer skies, they simply refused to let clouds decide their vision. And what about you? If you are still breathing, you are not finished. If your heart is still beating, your mission is not complete. The world may not yet recognize who you are, but the flame inside you already does. So guard your mind like a fortress. What you think, you become. What you dwell on, you build. Your mindset is your blueprint, and the world will rise to meet the structure you dare to create. Now hear this. Clarity is power. You must know what you want. Not vaguely, not someday. You must define it with the precision of an architect and the passion of a warrior. You must see it so vividly that it becomes more real than the distractions pulling you away from it. Too many wander because they never dared to decide. But decision is the first step to dominion. What do you want? Not what the world expects of you. Not what your friends or family want. Not what is safe. What do you want? Deep in your gut, the thing that keeps you awake at night, the thing you're terrified to speak aloud because it feels too big. Say it. Because once you name it, you begin to claim it. And once you claim it, you must pursue it, like your very breath depends on it. Clarity is not luxury, it is survival. Without it, you drift. With it, you ignite. But vision without action is delusion. You must walk the talk, bleed the belief, sweat the dream. Discipline is the price of transformation. and no one pays that price by accident. Discipline is not about rules, it is about alignment. Alignment with who you say you are. Discipline is a love letter to your future self. It says, I see you. I respect you. I'm building you. When the alarm goes off, get up. When your body says, no, move anyway. When your mind screams, doubt, speak. Faith. No one will hand you greatness. No one will push you to your highest potential. That is your cross to carry, and it is sacred. Because every rep, every page, every moment you show up when it's hard, that is the fire being stoked within. You are becoming. Every great soul was forged in resistance. The comfort you crave will not make you. The applause you seek will not complete you. The struggle is the womb of your transformation. Look at every legend, every builder of nations, every conqueror of mediocrity, and what do you see? A man or woman who faced fire and did not flee, who stared failure in the face and said, I will not bow. That is resilience. That is what separates those who dream from those who become. Resilience is not the absence of pain. It is the refusal to be ruled by it. It is rising after betrayal, standing after collapse, believing after loss. It is saying, this broke my heart, but it will not break my will. You will be knocked down. The dream will cost you. People will doubt you, abandon you, misunderstand you, but your response, that's what writes the legend. Will you whimper in self-pity, or will you rise in sacred defiance? You are not here to avoid pain. You are here to learn to harness it, to burn with it, until it lights the path forward. And what of purpose? This is not a word to be tossed around like a slogan. This is the ancient thread that pulls a soul through suffering, through silence, through storms. Purpose is not found in books, it is remembered in moments of stillness. It's the whisper that calls you toward more when the world tells you to settle. It is the echo of your creator inside you, saying, you were not made for this cage. Do you feel it? It is not loud. It is not always clear. But it is always present. You are not a random collection of atoms. You are not some cosmic accident. Noah, gifts, your scars, your passions, they are all evidence. Evidence that something greater is calling you. But here is the truth most will never accept. Purpose demands sacrifice. It demands the death of comfort. It demands you become someone who is worthy of the calling. You must outgrow your excuses. You must sever ties with fear. You must rise not because the world tells you to, but because your soul refuses not to. That is purpose. It's not a job. It's not a title. It's a fire, and if you do not feed it, it will consume you in regret. Now understand this. The world will only mirror back what you expect of it. Expectation is a force. It is not passive. What you expect with conviction, you attract like gravity. If you expect mediocrity, you will see it everywhere. If you expect greatness, you will begin to magnetize the very people, ideas, and paths that lead to it. This is not fantasy. This is physics. It is the resonance of belief. Napoleon Hill wrote, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But he didn't say wish, he said believe. Belief is certainty, rooted in action. So ask yourself, what do I truly expect from my life? And if your answer shames you, then now is the time to rise. Change your standard. Rewrite the internal contract. You are not at the mercy of your past. You are not bound by blood or upbringing or the labels the world stamped on your back. You are free the moment you decide to be. Let's talk about gratitude, not as sentiment, but as strategy. Gratitude is the fuel that keeps you moving when results delay. It is the lens that reveals wealth in the struggle, lessons in the loss, and beauty in becoming. Gratitude is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is a warrior's posture. It says, I will not let what I lack blind me to what I possess. You want more? Then give thanks for what you have. You want to rise? Then honor the floor you're standing on. The heart that is grateful is unshakable because it is already rich, already full, already strong. So wake up each morning, not in complaint, but in command. Give thanks for your breath. Give thanks for your struggle. Give thanks for the chance to try again. Gratitude is how you train the mind to see power where others see pain, and when the road twists as it always does, you must become adaptable. Rigidity is the enemy of evolution. It is the mind that says, this is how it should be, and then breaks when life disagrees. But the adaptable soul, the one who bends but never breaks, that is the one who survives, who thrives, who wins. Like water, they flow. Like fire, they consume obstacles. Like wind, they move unseen but undeniable. Your path will not look like anyone else's, and it shouldn't. You are a one of one. No blueprint can contain your becoming. So when life shifts, shift with it. When the door closes, build a new one. When the world says you can't, adapt your strategy, sharpen your mind, and double your resolve. Because the man who adapts becomes unbreakable. You've heard it said, to thine own self be true. Shakespeare wrote it centuries ago, but it echoes louder now than ever, because this world will tempt you to betray yourself every single day. It will tell you to blend in, to be smaller, quieter, safer. It will sell you comfort as virtue, and convenience as destiny. But your soul knows better. There is no honor in hiding. There is no victory in shrinking. The only way to live truly live is to rise boldly, bruises and all, and declare, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, and nothing will stop me. That declaration doesn't come from ego. It comes from knowing, from standing face to face with your fears and choosing your mission anyway. From daring to believe that the fire within you is not a mistake, it's a summons. And now, action. Let us be crystal clear. Your dreams will not manifest because you meditated on them, journaled about them, or whispered affirmations into the mirror. Action is the oxygen of achievement. Without it, belief withers. Vision fades. Destiny dies. The greats weren't just thinkers. They were doers. Edison failed 10,000 times before he got it right. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years studying the minds of millionaires before a single word of Think and Grow Rich was published. They moved, they fell, they persisted. You must move, even when you're unsure, even when you're scared, even when nothing is perfect. You must take the step and then the next and then the next. Because, in motion, you become unstoppable. Success does not come to the most intelligent. It comes to the most relentless. And yes, you will fail. That is not a warning. That is a promise. But understand, failure is not the opposite of success. It is the cost of admission, that every time you fail and rise again, you burn away a layer of weakness and uncover something stronger. You become a little bolder, a little wiser, a little more dangerous. Failure is the universe's way of asking, how badly do you want it? So when you fall, get up. Laugh if you must. Bleed if you must. But never stay down, because every time you rise, your fire grows, and the world starts to see what you've always known. You are not here by accident. You are becoming the person your future demands. And finally, self-mastery. This is where it all comes together. The mind, the spirit, the vision, the grind. Self-mastery is not control over others. It is control over yourself, over your impulses, over your doubts, over the voice that says give up, and the ego that whispers, "You've done enough." You want to know how kingdoms are built, how dynasties rise, how movements ignite? Through men and women who have mastered themselves first, who rise before the sun, not to impress others, but to conquer themselves, who read, who learn, who train not for applause, but for evolution. That is the final gate. That is the inner sanctum. When you master the self, you master the world, because nothing external can destroy a man who has made peace with his purpose, sharpened his discipline, and silenced the chaos within. Now hear me, that life is not a rehearsal. This is the show, the battlefield, the canvas. You do not get to relive this day. You do not get to rewind this hour. What you choose now becomes who you are. So I ask you, will you awaken? Or will you sleepwalk through your own legacy? Because the fire is still inside you. It is waiting. It is ready. And the world is starving for what only you can bring. You are not here by accident. You are the answer to a problem this world hasn't solved yet. You are the storm sent to shake the systems. You are the voice, the builder, the visionary, the breaker of chains. So stand tall, lift your chin, clench your fists, feel your heart beat like a war drum, and say it aloud. So loud that every fear inside you goes silent. I was born with fire. I will walk with purpose, and I will not leave this world quietly. Because you, my friend, you are not here by accident. You are sent to awaken the fire within, and now it begins.